The NiSi ATHENA lenses landed on my table and I was eager to put them through their paces. After all, those full-frame small primes are promising a lot for the money, with lots of unified specifications across the lens line like gear position, weight, large aperture of t1.9, and even color rendering. Can those become the lenses you've been waiting for? Let's take a closer look. Earlier this year, during NAB 2023, NiSi exposed their ATHENA line of lenses. And now, those lenses finally hit the market and are being sold as a set of 5, or you can purchase the 14, 25, 35, 50 and 85 mm separately. When it comes to mounts, there is a variety to choose from. For mirrorless cameras, NiSi is currently offering native Canon RF, Leica Panasonic Sigma L, Sony E, and Fujifilm G mount options. In addition, the ATHENA lenses can be ordered to arrive with a PL mount. It is worth mentioning that the PL mount version has no drop-in filter option. So does the Fujifilm G lenses, while the Sony E mount comes in 2 flavors, with or without a drop-in filter option. More about those drop-in filters in a second. In this review, I paired the NiSi ATHENA lenses with the Sony a7S III and tested how it is to work with those lenses while filming a mini documentary. By the way, in case you're interested, my main working horse for that video was the 25mm lens. It proved to be the focal length that suited my type of work best during that day. So let me introduce you to Naoyuki-san, who fulfilled his dream and opened a small Italian restaurant in a nice and quiet neighborhood in Tokyo. I'll be back with some observations about the NiSi lenses right after this short film. Downtown Tokyo, in a cozy neighborhood called Higashi Nagasaki, close to the railway station, I'm heading to an Italian restaurant run by a Japanese chef who specialized his cuisine in southern Italian delicacies. Meet Naoyuki-san.
I started to learn Italian dishes from my university town. It was a part-time job to earn some money and to get staff meal and to get girlfriends. But I noticed to make food, cooking is very fun. So I decided to be a chef, Italian chef.
His restaurant Cadota opened in March 2021 and has been well integrated and welcomed in the neighborhood. Since socializing is an important part of his life, Naoyuki-san starts his daily routine in the neighborhood's coffee shop just down the road.
This neighborhood, Higashi Nagasaki, has a great atmosphere. It's so convenient to have my restaurant. There is a famous and exciting cafe. I go to the cafe every morning before I work at my restaurant. The cafe is Mayamaya. Mayamaya means the shelter. Many people gathered out there. They start talking each other. They are unknown, but they talk like the old friends.
Back at the restaurant, the day continues by preparing for tonight's dinner service. Besides known Italian dishes, there is one pasta dish on the menu that stands out. Naoyuki-san's very own homemade orecchiette.
My restaurant is Italian-based cooking. I stayed in Italy 3 months, 10 years ago. Why I choose orecchiette is it's the accident.
Originally, Naoyuki-san's goal was northern Italy and its cuisine. He wanted to learn the art of lasagna, ravioli, pasta, but when his chef recommended to go to southern Italy, Naoyuki-san didn't say no and landed in Puglia. Puglia is known for a few things, but most of all orecchiette. There, he was able to learn from one of the most authentic Puglian restaurants, the chef, and of course the chef's nonna.
Nonna is a grandmother of the chef of the restaurant. It was a special experience for me to learn how to make orecchiette. It was the most important part of my life. The biggest reason to make orecchiette outside is to say hi, konnichiwa, like this, to say hi, hello to neighbors or pedestrians. And in Puglia, Italy, there is a street. どうぞ、こんにちは. There is a street where the nonna, grandmothers, making orecchiette outside. I like their attitude and that scene. That street is so exciting. It's interesting. So I make orecchiette. I decided today's orecchiette 10 minutes before opening my restaurant. So I don't know how today's orecchiette goes. The ingredients only knows. Orecchiette is a little bit not known cooking. The Japanese likes Italian dishes like a spaghetti, lasagna, or something like that. I want to introduce orecchiette to Japanese people, but it's difficult. So our specialty is French fries. Much more people like French fries than spaghetti, I think so. It's an easy way to introduce orecchiette. The important point is perfectly freezed potato. I learned from McDonald's.
Thank you, Naoyuki-san, for your time, and thank you, Jay, for editing the video. So let's dive into it. As I previously mentioned, the Athena lenses will come in a variety of mounts, and while it is very easy to adapt the PL version to be attached to different mirrorless cameras, most of the Athena native mirrorless mounts have the advantage of having a drop-in filter feature. As far as I'm concerned, this is a welcome solution that can help with reducing the overall camera setup size, especially when running and gunning. At the time of making this review, no drop-in filters were available, but lots of different filter options are supposed to hit the market in early 2024. Talking about those filters, I checked with NiSi if only the filter glass element itself can be sold, or if it will always include the metal tray, and the answer was only with the metal tray. I hope that NiSi will consider selling the filter glass element itself only, as it can maybe reduce the overall product price or even support the environment a bit. Now, please allow me to highlight some of the advantages of those new lenses. And I would like to start with their compactness. One has to love the compact form factor. They are nice to hold and simply feel robust. In addition, NiSi managed to pretty much control the weight of those lenses and nail it to around 890 grams for the Sony E mount version with drop-in filter. So, if you are working with a gimbal, for example, changing focal length should be straightforward. All lenses in this family are marked at a maximum t1.9 aperture, except for the 14mm, which is t2.4. Having such fast lenses surely helps with achieving beautiful bokeh, but please take into consideration that when working wide open at t1.9, the image tends to be a bit soft on the sides. Closing the aperture to t2.8 makes things better, but for sharper images across the frame, T4 is your safe bet. It's also very nice to see that focus breathing is extremely well controlled next to minimalistic chromatic aberration. One spec that I would like to mention with those lenses is the image circle size. Having a 46mm image circle means that those lenses can cover full frame sensor and beyond. For example, you can mount the PL or G lens versions on the Fujifilm GFX large format camera. And depending on the resolution you choose, you might have minimal vignetting on the height of the image, but not on the width. What else? Markings are clearly visible on both sides. And we also have high visibility paint, which is not glowing in the dark, yet still very useful in different set conditions. Lens consistency continue with the front diameter, which is 80mm, and the inner filter thread for attaching traditional filters like Vari ND is 77mm. In any case, those diameter measurements help with keeping the overall compactness of the lenses. If you opt to buy the 5 lenses set, you might consider getting the practical carrying case that can easily accommodate all lenses and even leave some space for future offerings. When it comes to lens distortions, some focal lengths are doing better than others, but distortion is certainly there. Yet it might not be distracting when working in the field. Okay, how about things to consider and improve? There are 2 points that I would like to touch. One is about the number of lenses currently offered. Of course, you have to start somewhere, but additional focal lengths will be a welcomed addition. NiSi already hinted working on a 135mm lens, and I guess that this is the reason for having an additional empty space in the hard shell case. The other thing I wanted to highlight is the build quality of those lenses. In general, I really like what I see. But the 25mm lens gave me the hardest time when it comes to mechanical and optical reliability. I had some issues with the lens focus ring and drop-in filter tray next to having a single spot in the lens itself, which caused some unwanted reflections. Luckily, I had no similar issues with the rest of the lenses in the kit. Okay, my final thoughts. Throughout 2023, we have tested a good deal of lenses. Most had some kind of vintage look built into them. Now, while some will say that the vintage look is an excuse to produce optically inferior lenses, let's give the respected manufacturers the benefit of the doubt. In this regard, NiSi took the opposite way by introducing good, clean, natural-looking, optically wise lenses. Let me put it differently. The optical performance of those lenses is consistent, almost clinical, which in many ways is a good starting point, as you can alter the look by yourself with some good frontal anamorphic adapters or different filterization, for example. One thing that I'm reluctant to talk about is what NiSi calls micro-contrast control. I don't want to talk about a subject that my knowledge is limited, so I'll just say that according to NiSi, you get more lifelike images with those lenses. One way to observe this is by turning your image to black and white and see a greater graduation with a large number of gray shades. May I dare and say that this resembles an 8-bit versus 10-bit picture coming out of a camera? Like a 10-bit lens? Okay, jokes aside, so all in all, for indie filmmakers, this set of lenses represents a great balance between optical performance and price. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have those lenses already, please share with us your user experience working with them. And if you don't have them, will you be considering getting them? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you guys.